Kawasaki continues to expand their Indian range, and today we have two naked bikes with us. They're not new products. The ER6N is effectively a Ninja 650 without the fairing, and the Z250 does have a small fairing but effectively is the naked version of the old Ninja 250.
I've always thought that the ER6N wasn't a particularly pretty motorcycle. Seeing it now in the flesh, I think I was right the first time. There's a lot of Ninja 650 elements on the motorcycle, but the fairing itself has been replaced by a rather odd-looking headlight, and a lot of small matte plastic bits have also been added. And I don't think any of these do the motorcycle's looks any favors at all. It still feels as well made as the Ninja 650, but well styled, the ER6N just isn't. And then there are other details that could have been executed with a lot more class.
Most countries in the world don't require that front number plate, and I don't think anybody else requires a sari guard, but look what it does to the ER6N. That ugly metal thing, which is really hard to use and has sharp edges, is what you get instead of a well-designed grab rail. And if you want the mirror unit to this one, get this, you have to order one extra. Do you think this is a cheap motorcycle that we have to do all of these things? Because the Z250 is a Z, it's got some very nice styling going on. So if you look at the front of the motorcycle, the fairing reminds you strongly of the Z800, and there's that menacing scowl permanently planted on this thing's face, which I think looks great and it gets a lot of attention. If you look at the side, it's a very short fairing and you see a lot of the powertrain, but basically it's sort of like a Z stylized, and I think that works really well too. The Z250, I have to say, is a really pretty motorcycle.
The ER6N is a naked Ninja 650. What that means is a torquey and fast engine in a stable handling frame that isn't too sporty but not lazy in corners either. Ride quality similarly is stiff enough to deal with the power but not so stiff that it cannot handle our roads. Riding the ER6N then is a good experience as you would expect. It's a fast motorcycle in traffic and has the ability to lope along down the highway for hours as well. The sole downside perhaps for the Ninja 650 as well as the ER is that it's a heavy motorcycle, and at really slow speeds or in parking lots, you cannot escape that feeling.
From the first time that I rode the Ninja 650, I thought the motorcycle was very good for Indian conditions. The ER6N does nothing to change my impression. It really is nice. There's a lot of torque wherever you are. You can get past traffic really fast. Out on the highway, it's got long legs and you can just keep on going for a really long time. It's a comfortable, spacious motorcycle. What more could you ask for? The only thing I'll miss really is wind protection. And if you're going to talk wind protection, we're talking Ninja 650, aren't we?
Now let's switch to the smaller, prettier machine. The Z250 is a compact motorcycle. It is based on the old Ninja 250, and that makes it both small, lean and sporty. Sitting on the bike, it doesn't seem to have any bulk, and you rapidly get the hang of slicing through traffic and confidently cornering it as well. In size and comportment, it's a rather enjoyable motorcycle too. It always feels alert and ready, though unlike the ER6N, you have to work to extract this energy from the little Z.
Being based on the Ninja 250, this motor is actually very interesting. Red line on the meter is at 12,500 RPM, and I know that you can get past that to almost 13,000. And yet this is a motorcycle that allows you to do 20 kilometers an hour in top gear. In the same gear, of course, it will show you its top speed as well. But the thing is, in traffic, you only need to have about 3,500 on the clock and you'll make progress as long as you don't want full-on hard acceleration. But the trouble is, if you're trying to ride it really fast and get all that acceleration out, you have to get it past 9,000, almost to 10,000. If you can get it 11.5, actually you'll have a good time because there's a lot of torque that arrives at 11,500 RPM. I'm not saying that makes this a bad motorcycle, but it does make it a kind of a specific flavor that either you love or you won't. If you love it, get it to 11.5. I'm telling you, the rest of the run to the red line is incredible. It really, really stretches your arms. But can you ride a motorcycle this hard outside of the racetrack?
The issue with the Z is perhaps simply that it's fast, but going fast is hard work, and it's rather pretty and appealing, but it also costs a fair slab of cash. It might be the cheapest twin-cylinder motorcycle in the market, but it's a very expensive purchase as motorcycles go. These contrasts are hard to reconcile, especially given the fact that if you're in the mood for a thrash, the Z250 is a surprisingly thrash-happy little thing.
So 2 more likable Kawasaki's go on sale, but this time there is a problem. You see, the ER6N is only 40,000 rupees cheaper than the fair Ninja 650, and for the turn of speed that this bike has, for how good it is on the highway, I think the fairing is a big part of it. So if you were in the mood for buying a 650, the only reason to buy the ER6N to me is that you cannot make the other 40,000 rupees happen. If you go to the Z250, it's sort of the same problem. You see, this motorcycle is 60,000 rupees less than the Ninja 300. Both of these bikes, the Z250 and the Ninja 300, are already very expensive motorcycles for what they are. So if you're in the market for something like this, you want your first twin, I would say save up the money, take a loan if you have to, find the extra 60,000 rupees and get the Ninja 300. It's a newer motorcycle, it's faster than this, and I think it's overall the better buy of these two.